After the age of 50, many people notice a shift in their energy, recovery time, and especially their muscle strength. The common response is to increase protein intake, assuming more shakes or lean meats will fix the problem. But what if I told you the secret to rebuilding muscle after 50 isn't protein at all, but a mineral that directly supports how your muscles and nervous system communicate? This mineral is essential for more than 300 biochemical processes in the body, and yet nearly 60% of older adults are deficient in it. The name of this mineral is magnesium, and if you want to rebuild muscle, restore vitality, and reduce soreness, magnesium is the overlooked powerhouse you need to pay attention to. Magnesium does something that protein alone cannot. It facilitates the electrical signals between your brain and your muscle fibers. When your brain tells your arm or leg to move, it sends an electrical signal through your nervous system. That signal depends on minerals called electrolytes to carry it efficiently. If magnesium is low, those signals are delayed, weak, or misfired. That's why people with magnesium deficiencies often experience cramping, twitching, muscle weakness, and fatigue. It's not age that's causing this decline, it's the breakdown of the brain-muscle connection, and magnesium plays a critical role in restoring it. And it doesn't stop there. Magnesium is also responsible for regulating calcium, which controls muscle contraction and relaxation. Calcium triggers a muscle to contract, but without enough magnesium to pull the calcium back out of the muscle cell, your muscles stay tense, sore, or unable to fully recover. This mineral literally allows your muscles to relax and rebuild. After exercise, or even after a long walk or day on your feet, your muscles need magnesium to neutralize lactic acid, reduce inflammation, and kickstart the repair process. Without it, your body remains in a stressed catabolic state, breaking down tissue instead of building it back stronger. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Magnesium has a profound impact on your sleep, which is when 90% of muscle repair occurs. As we age, deep sleep becomes harder to achieve, but magnesium regulates neurotransmitters like GABA and melatonin, helping to usher the brain into slow-wave restorative sleep. It's during this sleep phase that growth hormone is released and the body begins to rebuild muscle tissue, repair nerves, and flush out toxins. So if your magnesium levels are low, not only is your physical repair impaired, but so is your brain's ability to reset and recover. Magnesium also supports ATP production, the energy currency of every cell in your body. If your cells can't produce energy efficiently, your muscles will fatigue faster, recover slower, and lose mass over time. This is one of the core reasons older adults start to experience what's known as sarcopenia, age muscle loss. But studies show that adequate magnesium intake can actually reverse some of this loss, especially when combined with light resistance training and proper hydration. You don't need to lift heavy weights, just move your body with intent and let magnesium support your body's natural regenerative pathways. In a world that markets expensive supplements and complicated regimens for aging, magnesium remains one of the most powerful yet underused tools. It's inexpensive, widely available, and profoundly effective. Whether through foods like spinach, almonds, pumpkin seeds, and avocado, or through supplementation with forms like magnesium glycinate or magnesium malate, restoring your magnesium levels is one of the most intelligent, science-backed moves you can make after 50. The goal isn't just to survive aging, it's to thrive through it. And magnesium is a cornerstone of that process. When you support your brain, your nervous system, and your muscular repair cycle with the right mineral, the entire system begins to come back online. And that's when strength returns, not just in body, but in confidence, clarity, and vitality. After the age of 50, the body begins to send signals that many misinterpret as inevitable decline, stiff joints, muscle fatigue, slower recovery, and less strength. Most people jump to the conclusion that they need more protein. While protein is essential, the problem isn't just what you eat, it's how your body processes it, how well your muscles respond to your brain's commands, and how efficiently your cells recover from even minor exertion. All of this depends heavily on a single mineral that is often overlooked: magnesium. This mineral is not only crucial for muscle performance, but it also supports the nervous system, aids in recovery, and helps the brain remain sharp. After 50, magnesium doesn't just help you feel better, it helps rebuild the biological systems that keep you moving. Your brain is constantly sending electrical messages to your muscles, telling your hands to grip, your legs to walk, your spine to stabilize. These messages are carried through a network of neurons that rely on minerals called electrolytes to maintain balance and function. Magnesium is one of the most important of these, and when it's deficient, everything from reaction time to muscle coordination begins to falter. That's why people with low magnesium levels often notice tremors, leg cramps at night, or a general feeling of weakness. It's not just aging, it's a breakdown in the neuromuscular interface. Restoring magnesium helps reestablish that connection. When you replenish magnesium, the nervous system functions with more clarity and precision. Your muscles become more responsive and your movements smoother. This is especially crucial as we age because the risk of falling, injury, and recovery delays increases with each decade. But magnesium does more than just carry signals. It's also a key player in managing how muscles contract and relax. Calcium triggers contraction, but without magnesium to balance that out, muscles stay locked, tight, or sore. Magnesium helps usher calcium out of the muscle cell so relaxation can occur, which is essential for avoiding stiffness and injury. This cycle of contraction and relaxation becomes especially important after physical activity. After a walk, a light workout, or even daily housework, your muscles need to reset, and magnesium is the reset button. It reduces inflammation, helps neutralize waste products like lactic acid, and enables muscle fibers to begin repairing themselves. It's during this recovery phase that strength is actually built, not during the workout itself. And without sufficient magnesium, that phase is compromised. Recovery isn't just a muscular process, it's deeply tied to your brain and your sleep. One of the most underrated benefits of magnesium is its role in sleep regulation. As we age, the brain struggles to maintain high-quality deep sleep, the stage where muscle repair, hormone regulation, and memory consolidation occur. Magnesium supports neurotransmitters like GABA, which help quiet the brain and ease it into slow-wave sleep. When magnesium levels are adequate, people not only fall asleep faster, but they experience deeper, more restorative sleep. And it's during this deep sleep that growth hormone is naturally released, driving muscle repair and cellular recovery. This is one of the major differences between those who continue to gain strength and energy after 50 and those who lose it. Quality sleep fueled by optimal magnesium levels makes all the difference. In addition to better sleep and neuromuscular function, magnesium is also critical for energy production. At the cellular level, every single movement you make, lifting a grocery bag, rising from a chair, climbing stairs, requires ATP, the energy molecule. Magnesium is required to create and activate ATP. Without it, your muscles fatigue quickly, your energy dips, and your recovery stalls. This is why even light activity feels exhausting for people with low magnesium levels. They're operating without the cellular fuel they need. When magnesium is restored, energy improves, mental clarity returns, and movement becomes less of a struggle and more of a choice. You're no longer working against your body, you're finally working with it. One of the most misunderstood aspects of aging is the belief that muscle loss is simply inevitable. After 50, the body undergoes changes in hormone levels, nervous system function, and cellular repair mechanisms. But what's rarely talked about is that many of these changes are nutrient-driven, not just age-driven. A single mineral, magnesium, plays a crucial role in whether your muscles waste away or rebuild themselves. Protein gets most of the attention in the fitness and health world, but magnesium operates behind the scenes, orchestrating everything from muscle contraction to cellular energy production and deep sleep. If you're over 50 and feeling weaker, slower, or constantly sore, it's not just your age. It could be a silent magnesium deficiency. Magnesium is essential for more than 300 enzymatic reactions in the human body, many of which directly affect muscle tissue. When you move, whether it's lifting weights, walking, or just standing up, your muscles are activated through a sequence of events that begin in your brain and travel through your spinal cord. That message requires electrical current, and magnesium is the electrolyte that makes that signal travel cleanly and effectively. When magnesium is low, these signals become weaker, causing slower reaction times and poor muscle engagement. This leads to poor posture, fatigue, and a higher likelihood of injury. That's why older adults who optimize magnesium intake often experience more balanced movement, less tension, and a clearer connection between thought and action. But there's something even more critical happening under the surface. Your cells rely on magnesium to produce energy. This energy, known as ATP, adenosine triphosphate, powers every cell in your body. Without magnesium, ATP can't be synthesized or used properly. Think of magnesium as the ignition key that allows your engine to run. When your magnesium levels are optimal, you feel more energetic, alert, and capable of completing tasks with less effort. More importantly, your muscle cells regenerate more efficiently and you recover from physical activity faster. If your muscles feel sore for days after exercise or seem to shrink despite staying active, low magnesium could be the hidden culprit. Magnesium also influences how your muscles relax, which is just as important as contraction. After every movement, your muscles need to return to a resting state. That process requires magnesium to remove calcium from muscle cells. Without it, your muscles stay tense, inflamed, and uncomfortable. This is why people with low magnesium often report tight calves, stiff shoulders, and restless legs. This chronic tension wears down your muscle fibers and nervous system over time, making recovery nearly impossible. But when magnesium levels are restored, not only does this tightness subside, but your muscles also begin to rebuild stronger and more resilient. In addition to movement and recovery, magnesium plays a massive role in another critical pillar of health: sleep. Deep sleep is when the body releases growth hormone and initiates the repair of muscle tissue, bones, and even the brain. Unfortunately, as we age, our ability to enter these restorative sleep phases declines. Magnesium helps restore that cycle. It supports neurotransmitters like GABA and balances the nervous system, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. It also reduces cortisol, the stress hormone that breaks down muscle tissue and blocks recovery. So if you've been waking up tired, stiff, or unrefreshed, your body may not be going through its full repair sequence at night, and magnesium could be the missing link. But here's the real power of magnesium. It's not just helping your muscles, it's helping your brain stay plastic and responsive. Magnesium supports brain-directed neurotrophic factor, BDNF, a molecule that promotes neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections. This becomes crucial after 50 as both mental agility and physical coordination start to decline. When your brain adapts quickly, your movement becomes more fluid, your balance improves, and your response time sharpens. These aren't just nice to haves, they are essential to maintaining independence and strength into your later decades. Magnesium doesn't just support longevity, it supports quality of life and the capacity to move through the world with strength, confidence, and clarity. As we enter our 50s and beyond, one of the biggest challenges we face is preserving muscle mass, strength, and energy. Many people instinctively turn to high-protein diets or intense training routines to fight off the creeping effects of aging, but often they're missing a critical piece of the equation, a mineral that works at the cellular and neurological level to rebuild muscle tissue and restore physical function. That mineral is magnesium. Often overshadowed by protein, magnesium is responsible for unlocking energy in your cells, calming your nervous system, and regulating muscle activity. It's the foundation for physical performance and recovery, especially after 50 when the body becomes more sensitive to nutrient deficiencies and stress. Muscle doesn't begin in the gym, it begins in the brain. Your brain sends a signal to your body every time you move, lift, or even stand. That signal travels through your nerves and reaches your muscles, telling them to contract. This entire process relies on magnesium. Without enough of it, the signal becomes distorted, slower, or incomplete. That's why people with magnesium deficiency experience symptoms like twitching, cramping, and weakness, even if their protein intake is high. Think of magnesium as the conductor of your nervous system orchestra. Without it, all the players are out of sync. The brain-muscle loop becomes less efficient with age, but magnesium helps restore that loop, improving coordination, muscle control, and overall energy level. It's not just about movement, it's about recovery. Muscle growth actually occurs after exertion during periods of rest and repair. And again, magnesium plays a starring role here. Every time you move your muscles, tiny micro tears occur in the fibers. These micro tears must be repaired through a process called muscle protein synthesis, which requires ITP, the body's cellular energy currency. Magnesium is absolutely essential for the creation and function of ITP. Without it, your body can't produce the energy needed to rebuild muscle tissue. That's why fatigue and prolonged soreness are common in older adults with low magnesium levels. They're not just tired, they're under-recovered. When magnesium levels are optimized, the body is able to restore, repair, and come back stronger after physical activity, no matter how light or intense. Beyond movement and repair, magnesium also plays a critical role in managing the inflammatory load your body carries. As we age, inflammation tends to increase, whether due to stress, environmental toxins, poor diet, or lack of sleep. Chronic inflammation can lead to joint pain, tissue breakdown, and reduced muscle function. Magnesium helps lower the production of inflammatory cytokines and supports antioxidant activity in the body. It helps cool the internal fire, which is especially important after physical exertion. Reducing inflammation is not just about feeling better, it's about allowing the body to enter an anabolic muscle building state instead of a catabolic muscle wasting one. This is why magnesium is a key factor in long-term physical resilience. One of the most powerful and often overlooked aspects of magnesium is its role in sleep. Deep restorative sleep is where the real muscle rebuilding happens. During slow wave sleep, the brain detoxifies, growth hormone is released, and muscle tissue repairs itself. But many people over 50 experience poor sleep quality, frequent waking, or shallow sleep. Magnesium directly supports sleep by regulating the neurotransmitter GABA, which quiets neural activity and promotes relaxation. It also helps regulate melatonin and cortisol, two hormones that influence sleep timing and stress. When you sleep better, you recover faster. When you recover faster, you move better. When you move better, you feel younger. It all works together, and magnesium is the switch that activates the cycle. Magnesium is not just a muscle supplement, it's a full body recovery agent. It enhances brain health, improves cardiovascular function, regulates blood sugar, and supports mental clarity. For anyone over 50, restoring magnesium levels can be the simplest, most science-backed way to restore vitality. It's available in everyday foods like leafy greens, nuts, seeds, and avocados, but can also be supplemented in highly absorbable forms like magnesium glycinate or malate. The key is consistency. Just like you train your body and nourish it with quality food, magnesium must become part of your daily health foundation. When it does, strength returns, not only to your muscles, but to your confidence, cognition, and ability to live fully, regardless of age. As the body moves beyond the age of 50, subtle changes begin to accumulate, some physical, some neurological, and many biochemical. What was once easy to ignore, a slight stiffness, slower recovery, or reduced strength, becomes more obvious. Most people are told to increase protein intake or start lifting weights. While these strategies are important, they miss one of the most overlooked biological levers for muscle recovery and strength: magnesium. This mineral, often buried beneath discussions of protein and carbs, is at the very center of how the body communicates, repairs, and regenerates. And after 50, the body's demand for magnesium rises while its ability to retain and utilize it diminishes. If you're experiencing slow muscle recovery, lingering soreness, fatigue, or poor sleep, it may not be your age, it may be magnesium depletion. Magnesium is fundamental to neuromuscular function. Every conscious movement you make, whether it's standing up, lifting a cup, or walking, starts with a signal in the brain. That signal travels through the spinal cord to the muscles, and magnesium is what allows the neurons to fire smoothly and effectively. This mineral acts like a gatekeeper, regulating calcium and potassium in and out of nerve cells. Without sufficient magnesium, signals become noisy and chaotic. That's when cramps, spasms, and tremors appear. This is more than just discomfort. It's a warning sign from the nervous system that the communication between brain and muscle is breaking down. Restoring magnesium helps quiet that static and allows the neuromuscular network to regain clarity, an essential step in rebuilding strength and preventing injury as we age. Magnesium is also intimately tied to how the body produces and utilizes energy. At the cellular level, energy is stored in the form of ATP, adenosine triphosphate. But what many don't know is that ATP must be bound to magnesium to become biologically active. No magnesium, no usable energy. This is why fatigue, even after a full night of sleep or a light workout, is one of the most common symptoms of magnesium deficiency. The cells literally can't convert fuel into usable motion. When magnesium is restored, mitochondria function more efficiently and muscle cells begin producing steady, clean energy again. You feel less drained, less sore, and more physically capable because your body is finally operating with the power it was meant to have. Muscle recovery is another area where magnesium quietly works behind the scenes. After the age of 50, recovery slows down not just because of aging, but because the systems responsible for tissue repair are often under-supported. Magnesium assists in the synthesis of proteins and the repair of damaged muscle fibers. It also plays a role in controlling inflammation by modulating cytokines, chemical messengers that either accelerate or calm the body's immune response. When inflammation is chronic and unmanaged, muscles break down faster than they can rebuild. But magnesium helps return the body to a state of balance, allowing tissue regeneration to outpace breakdown. This is particularly vital for seniors trying to maintain or build muscle through resistance training. Without proper recovery, exercise becomes more damaging than beneficial. Magnesium also acts as a natural stress regulator. After 50, cortisol levels tend to stay elevated longer due to slower metabolic clearance and changes in hormonal rhythm. Chronic cortisol not only drains your energy, it actively breaks down muscle tissue and suppresses growth hormone. Magnesium helps inhibit excess cortisol production and supports neurotransmitters like GABA, which help calm the brain. This dual action improves mood and creates the physiological conditions for recovery and muscle growth. It shifts the body out of fight or flight mode and into a parasympathetic restorative state. This shift is necessary not just for better sleep, but for longevity and strength, because true muscle recovery happens in rest, not in action. Sleep is where magnesium delivers one of its most profound benefits: Deep, slow-wave sleep is the phase in which the body repairs itself, detoxifies the brain, and releases anabolic hormones like testosterone and growth hormone. Many adults over 50 struggle to reach this restorative sleep phase. Magnesium helps by relaxing muscles, quieting the nervous system, and regulating melatonin production. Taking magnesium before bed can lead to longer, deeper sleep cycles, allowing the body to rebuild more efficiently overnight. When you sleep better, everything improves. Your energy, your muscle tone, your mental clarity, and most importantly, your body's ability to adapt to training and resist decline is reactivated. The good news is magnesium is easy to replenish. Foods like pumpkin seeds, almonds, spinach, avocado, and dark chocolate are excellent natural sources. For therapeutic doses, magnesium glycinate, citrate, or malate are highly absorbable forms. The key is consistent daily intake. Over time, you'll notice your body starts to respond differently. Faster recovery, more strength, deeper sleep, and clearer focus. And this isn't anecdotal. Clinical studies confirm that magnesium repletion in older adults improves not just muscle mass, but also balance, coordination, and resilience. Aging does not have to mean losing strength or vitality. With the right nutrients and magnesium at the core, you can build a body that continues to perform, recover, and thrive decade after decade.